So yes, I'm just starting my machine. So first we are going to see about Metasploit framework. Okay. So first, before seeing a Metasploit framework, let me tell you what is that. Okay. So Metasploit framework is a bundle or library of exploit. Okay. So what is exploit? Exploit is the object or a piece of code which is used to break the vulnerability. So for example, vulnerability is the weakness. Exploit is the object to break the weakness. Okay. So this is the thing we had discussed in previously of one story, like there is one thief who planning to get into the house. In that house, the thief is totally scanning the entire house. So the thief found one thing which is unusual in the house. So this house contained 40 windows. Among these 40 windows, one window is completely made of glass. Okay, so generally all the windows will have a wood grill and everything, but this one particular window is completely made of glass. So is this possible to break the glass? Yes, of course, we can able to break the glass. So that glass is a vulnerability. So because that glass is a vulnerable point, once the glass will be broken, any person can able to enter into the house. Now the thief is taking one stone to break the glass. Okay, that stone is an exploit. Okay, vulnerability is a weakness. Exploit is the object which is used to break the weakness. Okay, exploit is a piece of code. In technically, exploit is a piece of code which is used to break the vulnerabilities. And this Metasploit framework is a library of exploits. So for example, what is available in library? All the books. Okay, most of the books are available in library. Same exactly. Metasploit framework is a library of exploit. So more than 2000 exploits are available inside the Metasploit framework. Okay, either the exploit for web application, Android application, iPhone applications, and Windows, privilege escalation based, Unix based, Mac based, and session based, PHP based. More than 2000 exploits are available in Metasploit framework. For example, if you found any vulnerable service or a vulnerable version, and if you're searching for exploit in online, download the script and executing the script. So this is one status. Okay, so if that particular version, if the exploit is available for the particular version in Metasploit, then you can easily exploit that. Okay, so this is actually Metasploit framework. This is a library of exploit. So I'm just going with my file system and show you where this Metasploit framework is located on. So this take hardly 1 hour to completely see about this Metasploit framework, but we'll take, because if you say the topic like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, that will be not use of time. Okay, so we take some time and we'll completely see about Metasploit framework. Okay, so first go to file system, user, and share. So inside share, you can able to see the Metasploit framework. Yes. Okay, so here is the Metasploit framework. I'm just opening it. This is actually Metasploit framework folder. Okay, so file system, user, share, Metasploit framework. See, this Metasploit framework is completely developed by the language Ruby. Okay, so yes, Ruby also programming language. Okay, so if you don't know Ruby means, don't worry. Ruby is a programming language like C, C++, Java, Python. Ruby also programming language, but this Ruby is especially used for exploit development. Okay, so if you want to become an exploit developer, or a binary, if you want to make a research on a binary exploit or reverse engineering, this Ruby also important. Okay, if you want to become a proper exploit developer, and if you want to prepare for the exams like OSED. Okay, I'm not speaking about OSCP, OSED, offensive security exploit development. That time you should have to learn Ruby. It will help you very much to create your own exploit codes. Okay, and of course this Metasploit framework also created by the language Ruby. It created from the language Ruby. So in this Metasploit folder, you can able to see some folders like app, config, data, DB, documentations, library, modules, plugins, script tools, and everything. So we are especially going to see about the module directories. Okay, so and before seeing the modules folder, so let me tell you two important commands of Metasploit framework. Okay, so first one, the Metasploit framework, first one is msfconsole, and next one is msfvenom. Okay, so this Metasploit framework is a library of exploits, so where you can find more than 2000 exploits for different vulnerabilities. And using this Metasploit framework, you can also able to create a payload. Yes, I'll tell you. Okay, so now you can just consider payload as a virus. Okay, exactly, payload means virus only. I'll give you the clear explanation of payload also in today's session itself. Okay, so using this Metasploit framework, you can able to create a virus. Okay, so generally, why you need to create a virus? See, for example, take the scenario like there is a hacker who need to hack one victim system. Okay, the hacker planning to hack victim system, how it is possible? Okay, so first, what hackers need to do? So all the hacker command need to execute on the victim system, then only hacker can able to control the victim system. If attacker command will not work, means then attacker can't able to control the victim system. Now the point, how how attacker commands will execute on the victim system. Okay, so for that attacker need one agent. That agent is a virus. Okay, so attacker create a virus and share with the victim. So once if the virus is successfully installed or executed in the victim system, this virus will execute all the attacker command in a victim system. So for example here, for example, if I am an attacker, I'm giving any command, means that virus is my agent. Okay, so that virus receive my commands and execute on a victim system. Through the virus I can able to control victim device. Okay, so why I'm telling you is, using Metasploit framework you can also able to create a virus, not only for exploit, you can also able to create a virus. So if we have a time by today, so will create some payloads at all. Okay, so this payload creation and for a web application, so for example, if you upload any malicious exe file, so how you can gather the application access through the payload. Okay, so that is totally part of a red teaming way, but I'll tell you, if we have a time we can also see that. Okay, so using the command msf venom, okay, using the command msf venom you can able to create a payload. So payload is a virus. Okay, there is a two important commands in Metasploit. One is msfconsole, another one is msf venom. So if you want to start the Metasploit framework, then you have to give the command msfconsole. MSF is nothing but Metasploit framework. Okay, MSF means Metasploit framework. So MSF console is the command to start Metasploit framework. And if you want to create a payload, then you have to give the command msf venom. Okay, so these two are very important commands in Metasploit framework. And if you want to update your Metasploit framework, then you have to give the command msf update and msf db for msf database oriented commands. So I will discuss more on it. So first, let me go to the modules. So these 7 modules is a very important in Metasploit. So for example, if you just executing the command like msf console or you search, this command will not help you to learn more in exploitations. Okay, you should have to be aware of all the 7 modules in Metasploit framework, which will give you the extensive idea of how you can utilize Metasploit framework and how you can customize this one for your different attack scenario. Okay, so first framework in Metasploit framework. So sorry, the first module in a Metasploit framework is a auxiliary. Okay, so using this auxiliary, you can able to make a crawling. Okay, so using this auxiliary module, the very first thing you can able to make a crawling and DOS attack. Yeah, so crawling also part of information gathering. Okay, it also method of information gathering, but the crawling is especially like, for example, if you are doing for a particular information gathering, like so for example, consider there is a website, and if you find like there is a admin.php pages available or not. Okay, so for example, if there is 100 of website or there, among this 100 of website, which what all the website having admin.php. Okay, so this is this kind of particular information gathering is a crawling. So for example, uh, if you are looking for an application, if you are scanning an application, either if the FTP port is open or not. If the FTP port is open, then it are allowing the users for anonymous login or not. So these are all generally crawlings. Okay, so gathering some information about the particular part is a crawling. I'll give you more example in live once it is necessary. Okay, first one, using this auxiliary, the very first one we can able to do crawling, and next one we can perform DOS attack. I'll tell you clearly. Okay, so for example, I hope you all have an experience to visiting your university site or a school site for the result. Okay, see, generally how many of you like your school site or a university site? Okay, I'm not the person liking my school site or university site because it's showing my result every time in a fail grade. So I literally unlike all these sites. See, for example, if you're visiting the site in time of result, how the server will work? It works very slowly, very slowly. It will be in almost in death slow. Why? Exactly in result time it will be work very slow. If, for example, if you go for some other time sprint, it will be working very fast. Okay, it will be working very fast, but in time of result, publishing, that time the server will work very slow. Why? Because the website will receiving multiple requests from the multiple sources. So not only we are going to view our result, uh, the persons, the students who are all studying in the university, all the students will go to the site for a result. Okay, so this is actually DOS attack. Okay, see now why, especially in a result time the server is working very slow, because it getting a request from multiple sources in same time. See, for example, if I ask you one question and you can respond to me, but if there is a 10 person around you asking a 10 different question to you, means you will get little some confused to for which question you need to get, you need to show the response. But consider there is a 1 lakh people around you and asking a 1 lakh different questions. So what you will do? Literally we confused, literally we'll be getting hang. Okay, so for which question we need to make a response at all. So this is the same thing the server also handling. Okay, so DOS attack, see this is generally happen. Okay, so in result time all the people who are visiting the site are sending a request to the site to view their results, so the server will getting hanging or confused to which request it need to send the response. This is a general time. If the server will slow in a normal time, means that will be some unusual, because in the result time all of them will go to the site and it will be some slow. This usual thing. But in normal time, see for example, now this in result time server getting request from the multiple sources. Now see the scenario. In normal time there is an attacker who is sending multiple packet from his system to server. Okay, so generally if you are visiting for a website for the result, means our system will send only a request to the server. Okay, each system will send one request to the server. But in case of DOS attack, attacker making request loading. Okay, so attacker sending a multiple requests to the system to make it down. Okay, now the same scenario will happen. Okay, the server will getting multiple requests. Okay, the server will getting a multiple request, so the server will get some down. Okay, it will be get some slow for which request it need to send the request. So this is actually DOS attack. So have you all clear with what is DOS? So generally in a result time all of you are going to the server, that will be not issue. But in case of a DOS attack, attacker sending multiple packet to the targeted website. In DOS attack, attacker sending multiple packet to the targeted website. So if the server will getting a multiple packet, it will be confused or it will be getting hanged through which request it need to send the response. So this is actually DOS attack. Yes,
Yes.
okay. So we can see it like practically. So for example, if you want to perform a DOS attack, I'll tell you. Okay, so for this DOS kind of attacks, there is a one tool, Hammer, in GitHub. So this is really a good tool for a DOS attack, and I'll tell you what is DDoS also. Okay, so you can download this tool. So I'm just downloading. So I'm putting this into my desktop. So I hope you all know, if you want to clone any resource from a GitHub, you need to give the command git clone. Now I'm giving the command git clone and providing the URL. Yes. Now this Hammer tool directory is available in my desktop. So I'm just giving the command like get into the folder, Hammer, I'm making list. So there is a 3 files. I'm just giving permission to the Python executable file. Okay, so Python 3 hammer.py. Okay, so these are all the possible commands. Okay, so -s for server, -p for port, and -t 135. So we can give the server this one. Okay, so first I'm checking IP address of this demo.testfire.net. So ping demo.testfire.net. Yes, this is the IP address of demo.testfire.net. So let me copy this address. Okay, so here I'm using the same hammer tool for this operation. So okay, so Python 3 hammer.py hyphen server. Okay, so this option, and you can provide the server IP address here. And yeah, it is running on HTTP port only, so port 80 is default. So I'm giving port 80 So here also the port 80 is default. So if you want to mention, you can mention. Particularly, I'm mentioning once again, and I'm giving turbo 135. So this turbo means it will how the packet is going to sending on. So this is actually the turbo. So I'm copying this command. Yes, that's all. See now what happened. Okay. See now this hammer tool sending multiple packets to this target website. Okay. Now this hammer tool sending multiple packets to the targeted website. Okay. I guess it sends more than thousands of packets. Okay, to the targeted website. So what I'm doing is see, I'm just making a refresh. Yeah, still it is loading good. So I'm opening some other terminals, some more terminals. So I'm giving the same command in next terminal also. Yes, it also sending. So let me open one more terminal. Okay, see now we get the message like a server may be down in the red color. So which is so just we can check it. I'm making a refresh to this page. Yeah, it's loading good. So it takes some time, okay? It takes maximum 5 minutes, or it is based on the load balancer of the target. So if the target having some basic load balancer, it can able to withstand. Then if this DOS attack will not work, then attackers goes for the DDoS attack. I clearly tell you what is DDoS at all. So I can open another terminal. So we can right now it's showing the connection, no connection, server may be down. So if we do this for maximum maybe 5 minutes, then sure the server will be down. See now the request and see now the refreshing time is getting delay. Can able to see that one because we are sending a multiple packet to the target. So see from multiple so from these two terminals we are getting the message like no connection, server may be down or not. So now what we are doing, we are sending multiple packets from our system to the target. Okay, see normally in result time what happened, multiple requests will be comes from different users. Okay, each system will send a one request, so the server will getting it down for it will be confused for which request it need to send the response. But in here right now what happening, okay, from our one system we are sending a multiple packet to the target. Now the target will get confused, it may get hang for which request it have to send the response. So that is why it getting slow. See, I'm making refresh once again. So now the loading time is getting some different. Okay, so if we do this for the next 10 minutes, if we continue this means sure there is a chance to get the server. So if this DOS attack won't work, then attacker will goes for the DDoS attack. Okay, so for it takes some time. I'm just closing because it I hope you know the concept at all. That is very important. Okay, so this is actually DOS attack. So is everybody clear with what is DOS? Yes. Okay. So DOS is a denial of service. Sending a multiple packet, it is a request forwarding attack. Okay. So sending a request to the sending multiple requests to the target to make it as a down or out of service. That is denial of service attack. See now what happened exactly was right. Okay. So we send multiple packet to the targeted server, and it is getting some slow, but it is not completely down. So in this scenario, what attacker will do is attackers will go for the DDoS attack. So DDoS is a distributed denial of service. So how to perform DDoS attack? Is there any prerequisites or needed for the DDoS attack? Means yes, of course you need some prerequisite. Okay, the very first thing you need to get a bot. So if you have a bot, then only you can able to perform the actual DDoS attack. See, for example, if you visit the tool means it will be show like DDoS script at all, but without bot you can't able to perform the DDoS attack. So I'll tell you what is bot. Bots are nothing but a soldiers means it is not a physical soldier, it is like a computers. Okay, see, for example, there is a hacker who hack into a system, and once hack into the system, attacker will change that system as a bot. Okay, attacker will make the system like his soldier. Okay, so for example, consider I'm a hacker. I hack into one system. Now what I'll do is I'll convert that one system as my soldier. So if I will give any command, means that what soldier system will get execute the command. Okay, see for example, if the attacker having a 50 bots, okay, or 80 bots or 100 bots, so just consider, okay, if the attacker having 100 bots, now attacker is performing the DOS attack. So while performing the DOS attack means the server will not getting down. See, now if you have, now you have a chance to get one question like there are millions of people are visiting YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google, so Amazon, but these sites are not getting down. Netflix, but these sites are not getting down means it is generally based on the load balancer. Okay, so in this place, so if you are watching the recording, you can please take a notes of a load balancer. That is very important because this load balancer only handle the request. Okay, so this load balancer only handle the request. For example, if there is a site having the load balancer, the load balancer having the efficiency of handling a 1000 requests per second means, so if you sending a 900 packets per second, it can able to handle 900 packets because the load balancer have the efficiency to handle 1000 requests per second. Okay, in that time if you sending a 10,000 requests per second means that load, that server will be getting down because the load balance not having much efficiency to handle the 10,000 requests per second. Okay, so it is based on the load balances. So Google, Netflix, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Amazon, this application having a very powerful load balancer. So that is why even millions of users are using this application at the same time, it will not getting down. But we can't able to provide that much load balancing or security to the normal application. Okay, so normal application having some decent load balancing mechanism. So see, so here I'm an attacker, I'm making a DOS attack against a website, but it is not getting down. The load balancer used in the application will be getting some efficiency. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll go for the DDoS attack. So in this DDoS attack, I execute all my bots, I actuate all my bot systems. So now what happened? My system, my one system send multiple requests to the target. In DDoS, all the 100 systems. So I'm having 100 bots. So all the 100 systems sending a multiple packet from the to the target. Okay, so instead of sending a multiple packet from one system, all the 100 system will sending the multiple packets to the target. So in that time, the method of request loading is totally different and very powerful because hundreds of systems sending multiple packets to the targeted server in the same time. So that is why even if it having some good load balancer also, there is a chance to get some down. Okay, so this is actually DDoS attack. Okay, but if you want to perform a DDoS attack, make sure you should have to get the bots. Now you have a questions like how to get a bots means, so for that you need to create a virus and hack into a system. Once successfully you hack the system, then you need to make the system as your bot. This is one part. Or if you find any genuine hackers in dark web, but it is really hard to find genuine hackers in a dark web because if you go for a dark web and searching for any hacking activities related to hacking, instead of hackers, 99.9% people are scammers only. Okay, so if you find any good hackers, some genuine hackers also selling the bots, but it is a very rare. So if they are selling your bot means they'll charge you the amount in millions. This is in real time scenario. So if any people's telling like that, I'll say I give you 20 bots for $1,000 for a $2,000 means it is purely fake. No people will send you 10 or 20 bots for 1,000 or $2,000. Okay, so why I'm telling you is using this auxiliary module you can able to make a crawling. Next you can able to make a DOS attack. Okay, is it possible to perform DDoS attack using this auxiliary module? Okay, we need bots to perform DDoS attack. So guys, I hope you are clear with what is DOS, what is DDoS, and what the importance of botnets in DDoS attack. So is it everybody clear with DOS, DDoS, and bots? So next we can go for the module encoders. So why I'm telling you is using this auxiliary module inside a Metasploit framework, you can able to perform the crawling and DOS attack. Okay, so yes, so many encryption keys are there. Okay, so for encrypt we need to get a key, and one more thing we'll discuss about encoding and encryption. So first we'll say about encryption. So Encryption means lock simply. Okay, so encryption is lock, decryption is unlock. Encoding means, so because as a security professional, you should also need to be aware of that. I'll tell you. Okay, so we take this one complete session for a network testing and network testings. Okay, so how you can do perform everything. So this one day is enough. So first, okay, so malware is a software which is harmful to the system, and there are many kinds of malwares are there, like ransomware, spyware, and Trojan, rootkit, many virus of many kinds of malware are there. So generally these all are a virus, but based on the behavior of this virus, it has been classified into these types, like a ransomware or a spyware or a Trojan or a worm or adware, based on the virus activity. So first we'll see about a ransomware. So ransomware is a set of virus, so which will affect the system and it encrypt all the data. Okay, so for example, if your system is got affected by ransomware virus, means it encrypt all your system data, so you can't able to open or retrieve any files, folders, or any data. Okay, it encrypt all the data in your system. This is the thing ransomware virus will do in your PC. Okay, so once if your system is got encrypted, once your system got affected with ransomware, in meanwhile, very fast it will encrypt all your system data. Now what you will do, it will ask you for the money. So generally ransom means money. Okay, ransom means money. If this ransomware attack, if this virus will attack the system, means it encrypt all the data. If you want to retrieve all the data, means it asks you demand for the money. So once if you give the money, then only it will give you the decryption key. Using the decryption key only, you can able to retrieve your data. So encryption is a lock, decryption is unlock. Okay, encryption is locked, decryption is unlocked. So if you want to decrypt all the files, if you want to retrieve all the files, then you have to give the decryption key. Using the decryption key only, you can able to retrieve the files. Now we can see the scenario. Okay, if it asks you for a $5,000, means what generally we think. Okay, so even our laptop will not more costlier than a $5,000, maybe a $500 or $1,000. That is the budget of our laptop. But if it asks for the $5,000, means most of the people's what they will do, they can delete all the things. Okay, else they delete the entire operating system and install new operating system in the machine and start working. So this is the common thing. But think about the businessman. Okay, if there is any businessman who having all the client data and sensitive business information to the laptop, did he go for the uh, delete all the files in operating system and installing new operating system? If our system, so for example, if there is a normal personal laptop will be affected with the ransomware virus and it asking for demand of a $5,000, means what we will do, so instead of giving a $5,000, we delete entire operating system and install the new operating system, work and start working with it. So this is generally we'll do. But think about in the stage of businessman. Okay, there is a big businessman having all the business related confidential and sensitive client information in his laptop, but that laptop got affected with ransomware virus. Now what decision the businessman will do? Okay, yes, of course, these data are very important. So if the businessman lose this data, means he or she may lose all the business at all. So now what the businessman will go for? They go for the ransom amount. Okay, if it is asked for the $5,000 or $10,000 or $1 million, it is based on the ransomware and where it affected. Okay, it demands the amount related to that. Okay, so now and one more thing, even if you pay the money, this is not 100% guarantee you will get a decryption key or not. Okay, even if you send the money, so generally what ransomware virus will do is it will ask you to send money to some Bitcoin wallet. Okay, so if you send that money to the particular Bitcoin wallet, it is not 100% sure you will get a decryption key or not. Okay, even if you get the decryption key, it is not 100% sure whether you can able to recover the data or not. Okay, it is based on only own risk. So if the decryption key will not work, it means no one can able to take a response. It is a huge risky option. Okay, so this is actually ransomware attack, and this is actually ransomware virus will do. Okay, so if the very sensitive information got affected, so we need to pay for the ransom amount to the virus and to get the decryption key. Even if the decryption key will not work, then everything in our own risk. So there is a no proper solution. We need to lose everything. Okay, and so for example, how the ransomware virus generally will work affect the system. So if we have installed any application from the third-party website, or if we download any data from a third-party website, or any pirated applications, or if we open any suspicious mails or messages to the system, or if we connect with any untrusted network, so these are all the security threat. And if you have failed to update the operating systems or a service or application running in the system, it also a security threat. You need to run all the operating system. You need to run your operating system and applications inside your operating system. Everything will be up to date. So even you're running everything properly, but your operating system is outdated, means attacker can take the advantage of outdating operating system or application version to install ransomware virus in your PC. So that also a huge risk. Okay, so these are all the possibilities for a general virus attack. So for example, either it may be ransomware or spyware or Trojan, everything will be working like this. But a special uh, some additional solution for a ransomware is a data backup. So for example, if you have a data backup, means what we'll do, so we can simply delete all the data. We can delete entire operating system and we can install new operating system, and we can get the data backup from the resource what we have. So even in data backup, if you go with a pen drive or a CD drive, it is not recommended. You can take your data backup in a cloud, because if your pen drive or a hard disk got a physical damage, then it won't work. It won't support us. Okay, that time, if you take a backup in a cloud, that will be some good security solution, I guess. Okay, so these are all the possibilities for ransomware. Okay, and this is how you can mitigate ransomware. The best option is a data backup. Now you have a question. See, if my system got affected by the ransomware virus and even I have a data backup, I delete all the data, I delete entire operating system, I install new operating system, and I get the important data from my backup. Now, what if the ransomware will leak all my previous data in online, means then what I can do, means nothing we can able to do that. Okay, so for example, if you think like we no need to lose any data, you can take important data as a backup and make it inside your cloud. That is very good example. And even now most people having a cloud, like, see, I'm having a sensitive information. Even cloud also third person's computer only. Okay, cloud also third party computer only. How I can provide all my information, how I can save all my information on third party computer, means then you can make your file as a, make zip all your data. Okay, make zip all your data, make you can just create a folder and put all your data inside the folder and make a zip the folder with password protector. Okay, with very strong password protector, and upload it on a cloud. Then it will be some secure. Okay, so these are all the possible ways you can protect and secure your data, where you can store your data securely. Now you have a question like, see, for example, if somebody want to get my cloud ID, means want to know what all the data are available in my cloud, means without my password how they can open. Yeah, that is general one. But if the cloud company will try to open the data, means they can able to open the data. But in this time meanwhile, if you make your data with a password protect and upload it on a cloud, means even they need, if they download the data, it asks them to give the password. Once if they give the right password for the data, then only the data will get open. Okay, so these are all some sensitive mechanisms, so you can use it for. Okay, so yes, next we'll see about a spyware. Spyware also type of virus, like so once if your system is got affected with the spyware, it makes it is it monitor all your system informations activities. So for example, if there is a hacker who create a spyware and send it to your system, means it will secretly record all your activities in your system. So using the spyware, attacker can able to entirely control your system. They can able to see all your data, even they can able to open your camera and mic and any. So they can install a key loggers in your system also. So using key loggers, they can able to find what all the keys you are typing in your systems. Okay, so this is generally spyware will do. And super, this is a backdoor. So this Trojan is a way of how the payload is delivering to the system. So before going to see about this Trojan, if you type Trojan in online, okay, it will show you the has image only. Okay, see, if you even if you search for a Trojan, means it will show you has. So I'll tell you why. If you search for Trojan, it's showing you the has. See, before seeing the Trojan, there will be one ancient story is that there is a war between two countries. Okay, one small country and one big country. Okay, that is a war is going to happen between two countries. One country is very small and one country is very large. Okay, now the small country king is planning to stop the war, because if the war will get happen, the small country will get more damage. Okay, so now the small country king will plan to stop the war. Okay, so he going and meeting the big country king and speaking like to stop the war, so the speaking will be go smoothly, the war will be getting stopped. Okay, now the small country king give the gift to big country king as this big wooden horse. Okay, now the small country king providing this big wooden horse as a gift to the big country king. So for example, if you are getting gift from somebody, means what you will do, so we will just receive the gift. Okay, now the big country king also receive this horse gift and put it on their palace, but inside this horse, okay, there are well trained 30 soldiers are there. Okay, inside this very big wooden horse there is a well trained 30 soldiers are there, 30 or 50 soldiers are there. So once if everybody will sleep on the night, all the 30 soldiers will come out and kill all the peoples, all higher peoples in the palace, like king, ministers in the palace, and they got wind. Okay, now what the small country king will do, he makes some tricky. Okay, see for example, is it not easy to enter into someone country? Even if you got enter into someone country, it is not easy to get into the enter the capital city. Even if you enter into the capital city, it is literally hard to enter into the palace, because the entrance of the palace having more security. Okay, but how the small country king will do all this thing, he provide one gift, inside the gift there is a 50 plus soldiers, well trained soldiers. Once if everybody if the king will receive the gift, means king will take the gift to only the palace. Okay, and now all the 50 well trained soldiers are get inside the palace. So once if every peoples will sleep in the night, all the soldiers will came out and start killing the peoples. They have not aware of this what is going to happen when they're getting this house. So this is actually Trojan. Okay, so in case of Trojan, for example, if there is a Trojan virus, means when it comes to your system, it will be look like genuine. Okay, so either this Trojan virus may be binded with PDF or anything. Okay, but when you are downloading this file, it will be with file. Okay, it will be binded with any files. When the Trojan virus is coming to a system, it will be binded with any files, either it may be PDF or video or picture or any data. Okay, once it downloads into your system, if you're opening or executing the PDF or any file, that time the Trojan virus inside the file will get triggered. Okay, will get triggered and start working. Okay, now the what concept you need to understand is, when it comes to your system, it will be look like a genuine, but once after you are executing the file, it start their work. Okay, so this is generally Trojan virus will do. Even most of the ransomware virus and spyware virus will come to the system by the method of Trojan only. Okay, most of the ransomware virus will follow the method of Trojan. When coming to the system, it will be look like a genuine, but once after come to the system, once we are executing the file, that time the virus behind the file also getting executed and it start affecting the systems. Okay, so this is actually Trojan. And next one is adware. Okay, I'll tell you about ROM. So this adware will produce the unnecessary advertisement to your system. For example, if you install any third-party website or if you subscribe with any third-party applications, it will probably send you multiple advertisement to your system. So this is actually adware. And now we can see about worm. Okay, so before going to say about worm, okay, I love you virus is a very dangerous and worst virus in a computer history. Even if you search in online, you get the results same. Okay, so worst computer virus in history. Yes, okay. So obviously you'll get the virus I love you. Okay, I'll tell you what is this I love you virus, what exactly this virus will do. Okay, so there is a couple, not a married couple, they are lovers. Okay, the boyfriend is a programmer who's suspecting the girlfriend like she may be cheating or not. Okay, so now what the programmer boyfriend is doing is he creating a virus and put this virus into the text file called I love you. Okay, so for example, if you are receiving any message or mail in content in subject of I love you, means what we will generally do, so we can generally open the file and to see who's sending this mail and what is the content inside the message at all. Okay, the same thing the girl also done, but once she opened the file, the I love you the virus behind the file start executed and attack, and the boyfriend get complete access to the system. Okay, he write a virus and attach it with a letter of I love you and send it to the girlfriend. Once the girlfriend open the system, the girlfriend system is got hacked by the boyfriend. Now he's doing monitoring all this activity, but there is a one logical error in this I love you virus which make it as a very popular. What is a logical error means, see, if your system is got affected with this I love you virus, it will spread to all the systems in your network. It will spread to all the system which in your connections. Okay, so that is this I love you virus can do. Okay, not only it affect your system, it will spread to your network. Okay, for example, if you have another system in your network, or if you are in a public network and any systems got affected with the I love you type of virus, even the person doesn't have an idea. Okay, but this virus will spread to all the systems according to the networks. Okay, so this is actually worm. So this worm kind of virus will got spread. Okay, once your systems got affected by the worm, it will spread to another systems in your network, in your connections at all. So this is generally worm kind of virus will do. So the very worst virus in a computer history is a I love you virus. So I hope you guys get some idea about what is ransomware, spyware, Trojan, worm, adware, at all, what this virus or virus files will be doing on. Okay. So yes, we'll back to the topic. Why I tell you all this means encoding, sorry, encryption. So encryption means lock, decryption means unlock. Now we will see about encoding. Encoding means changing the format. Okay. See, for example, I am telling you. Okay. So for example, consider a scenario. In this session, I know me and Pawan know French. So just for example, literally I don't know. For example, me and Pawan know French. If I am, see, for example, if I am saying anything to Pawan in this session in English, all the remaining three peoples can able to listen what I am speaking, what I am conveying to the Pawan, because you all know English. Okay. If for example, hi Pawan, how are you? Have you take the dinner? Not yet. Okay. So now you all can able to understand what I am saying to Pawan and what Pawan is replying to me, because this language we all know. So if I say the same thing in a French, means what happened, you can able to identify I'm saying something to Pawan, but you don't know what exactly I'm saying. This is actually encoding. Encoding is nothing but a changing format. So for example, let me go with the very famous encoding mechanisms of B64. Okay, so here I'm making an encode of content, something like so I love hacking. Okay, and I'm making into encode. Here I'm getting the value. Okay, see, encoding is nothing but a changing of content types. Okay, see, if I deliver you the content in the same language, means you all can able to identify what I'm saying. But if I am saying all the things in French, means only me and Pawan know French. Okay, so rest everybody will know I'm speaking with Pawan something, but you don't know what exactly I was speaking. Okay, so this is the advantage of encoding. Okay, see now what happened. So my mother tongue is Tamil. Okay, so first, what if I want to say something, even if I am speaking English or any language, first I have to understand in my in my own mother tongue, in my mother language. Then I have to convert into the new language, and then only I can able to deliver the content. Even if I was speaking English right now, means the same scenario is working. So first I need to understand, I need to be very clear and understand what I was speaking, and I have to convert the content from my mother tongue to English, and I'm delivering you the content. So even if I'm saying you a content, you are receiving the content, means what happened? You decode the content from English to Telugu. Okay, I'm making encoding. I know Tamil. Tamil is my mother language, mother tongue. I'm speaking in English, means I'm converting all the things to English, making encoding and delivery to you. So once you get this value, what you will do, you can make decode to Telugu. Then only you can able to understand what I'm speaking. So this is actually encoding and decoding. Okay, changing the content types accordingly. So here I'm saying, for example, we can take our WhatsApp group as a reference. So if I type like I love hacking, if I post this message in our group, is generally what people will think like, okay, I'm posting, I'm just saying something. Okay, so just Okay, so if I post this message in our group, means what will happen? Everybody will understand what I'm saying. Okay, all in our group will get this data. They can able to aware of, okay, so this file secret file contains server configuration at all. So if I make this content into encode and if I send this encoded value in our group, means what will happen? No, you just think like, okay, it is some random text or something which is unusual, but I only inform to Pawan. Okay, I make it as encode in a base 64. Now what Pawan only know, okay, so we have to decode it on a base 64. Once if Pawan copy the value and go to the base 64 for a decode, means see what happened. Pawan pasting the content and making decode, and now Pawan get the values. Okay, so even in encoding, double encoding, triple encoding, also that I'll tell you how this double encoding and triple encoding will be working in your real-time scenario. Okay, so this is, so I'm making it to encode, and here the value I get, I'm just copying the value and paste on here. Okay, and once again I'm making this value into encode for a second time. Now we got this value. I'm just copying the value again, and I'm once again making encoding the value. Okay, so this is the final output we got. So how many times I had made this encode? 3 times. Okay, see, for example, why I make encode into 3 times means, see here I'm sending this message to Mr. Pavan. Okay, in a public WhatsApp group. Okay, so Pavan will know I encode this data in a base 64. So Pavan, if Pavan will copy the data and make decode in a base 64, means Pavan will get the value. So for example, now Vijay is making suspecting, just for example, don't think like that. Okay, Vijay is thinking like suspecting, okay, either I may sending any sensitive information or not. So if Vijay copy this data and making decode in a base 64, means what happened? Vijay also get the data. Okay, now what I am doing is I am making triple encode. Okay, I'm encode this value for 3 times. So now even if the Vijay will get this value, okay, Vijay will get the value, and making decode means what happened? Vijay get this information only. So now what generally we will think, okay, so this is not in a base 65, it may be in any content or not. Okay, but I only informed to Pawan like I made this encode into a 3 times. So now what Pawan will do? Pawan will decode this into 3 times. So here I'm copying this value and paste it over here and making decode once again. Yes, okay, so I'm just copying this value also, making decode. Yes, so once after 3 decoding, we get the proper values. So I'll tell you how this encoding and decoding will work in a Metasploit framework in your penetration testing and red teaming assessment also. See, if you are creating a virus and share with your victim, even if your victim not aware of virus, but the antivirus running in your victim system will be getting very aware of virus. So if the antivirus will think like the file is suspicious, means what generally antivirus will do? Antivirus will delete the suspicious file in the system. Okay, so even if your victim not aware, but antivirus will properly know which is virus, which is a non-malicious file. So if the antivirus will find like the virus, the file may be a virus or a malicious, it will delete the files. Okay, now generally how antivirus will detect the virus? Okay, so it based on the signature. So each and every file having the signature, and in antivirus library there is a more than 1 lakh or 10,000 or more, most possible signatures are presented in antivirus library. So the file signature is matching to the virus signature, then antivirus will think like this file is virus and it probably take action to delete the file. This is generally antivirus will do. Okay, so this is generally antivirus will do. If the signature is matching to the existing signatures, then it will delete the file, then it considers it as a virus and delete the file. So if you are making a payload into encoding, okay, that time your signature will be get some different. So if your different signature will not available in the antivirus library, means then what antivirus will think like, it will be think like, okay, so this is a genuine file and it leaves the file. So there is a chance to bypass security mechanisms also. See, even in the same thing we have done in the XSS lab also. Okay, I guess in the level of 10th stage, okay, they filtering the word domain, right? So we encrypt the value. So generally this encoding mechanism, okay, this is Chris. Okay, so generally what they do in a level 10, they filter the value, they filter the word domain. So we make the word domain into encode. So we make the word into encode, and using the encode we bypass the security mechanisms. So in retrieving and in-depth security assessment, you should have to be clear with encoding, because this encoding methods will help you to bypass the security mechanisms. That much important. See, even using Metasploit, if you're creating a virus, so using this Metasploit framework also, you can able to encode your virus also. Okay, so generally encoding mechanisms and methods are used to bypass the security mechanisms. So have you all clear with what is encoding, what is encryption, how this encoding will help us in a scenario? Is everybody clear? Okay, so after this we can also see about CIA.
Yes.
Okay, team. So after this Metasploit framework, if you are interested, I also teach you CIA, which is cryptography, confidentiality, integrity, and availability in cryptography. We can also see about this, because these are all, everything is important in security fundamentals. So not in fundamentals, in any part of security, wherever we go, this will be plays a vital role. Okay, team. So we had completed these two modules, and this third module is evasion. So we can able to change the signature or not in a 0 day. So 0 day is not only based on a virus. So for example, we can see something. Okay, so I'll show you. Okay, latest Apache server, latest Apache version. Type. What is the latest version? Okay, so we just take this 2.4 is the latest version. Just for example, you can take this 6 is released. Okay, so we take this 2.46 is the latest version of Apache server. But even if you can able to, if you create your own code or a remote code execution to bypass the Apache version 2.4, but there is a no proper security available in Apache side also, that only consider as a 0 day. Okay, so 0 day means there is a exploit available for the updated version, but there is a no security patch. Okay, the time between exploiting and no security patches is a 0 day. So if there is a 0 day means no one can able to secure that, because there is a no even patch available for the 0 day. Okay, so if there is a 0 day virus means if the virus will bypass the signature mechanism, then it will be considered as a 0 day. Using cobalt stack, I guess you can do for the signature changing. So for signature changing, and if you want to do a reverse engineering and exploit development, once after the session also, if anybody will like to prepare for OSED examination, because I am right now completed my OSCP and preparing for my OSED examination. I hope you all know about exploit development examination. So even if you are preparing and if you need any resources regarding to OSCD also, you can ping me. I'll provide my resources. Okay, team. Okay, so now we can see about evasion. So evasion is nothing but the mechanisms of bypassing antivirus. Okay, evasion is bypassing antivirus. See, for example, if I'm giving you a virus, and if your system having an antivirus, means what generally antivirus will do, it will detect the virus and delete the file. Okay, even if you want to install any third-party software or pirated software into your system, means what you should have to do, you have to turn off your Windows security, Windows Defender. Then only you can install the, you can able to install the third-party files in your system. Okay, see, even if I am giving you the virus, means what you need to do, you have to turn off the Windows Defender, then only you can able to execute the file. But see the scenario, even if your Windows Defender is actively running, while running itself our virus will getting installed in a system and giving the connection, means that is evasion. that is bypassing antivirus. And inside this Metasploit framework, this particular evasion method is used to bypass the Windows Defender. But now you have a question like, so using this evasion model, is it possible to bypass the Windows Defender or not? Means no, because when this evasion will bypass the Windows Defender, Windows will provide the patches. Okay, Windows will provide the patches, but if you fail to run the patches in your system, if your system is not up to date, then it is possible to it is possible to bypass your Windows Defender. Okay, so this is why you should have to make your system up to date. Okay, and next one is exploit. So I hope you are well aware of what is exploit. So if you get into the exploit, you can able to see exploit for multiple servers like AX, Android, iOS. Okay, so Firefox, Linux based, NetWare, OpenBSD, OS X, Windows, Solaris, Unix. So for example, let me get into the Windows. See, inside the Windows, there will be exploit for each and every service like IAS service, IMAP. Okay, so these are all very famous. So IAS is a server for Windows like FTP servers. So for SMB also there. Okay, yes, SMB, SMTP, SSH based, SSL based, telnet based. Okay, and VNC, VPN, WINS. So there are many exploit based on this kind of Windows service also there. So this is why Metasploit framework is very important. So in this one particular framework, we can get multiple exploits. Okay, and next model is a nobs. Nobs is nothing but a no operations. Okay, see, in real time, if you are creating any virus, means inside the virus you will give many arguments like, so you have to do this operation in this directory. Once completed this operation, you have to jump for another directory and do this activity. So while if your virus is jumping to other directories, there will be a chance to crash of your virus. Whenever it is shifting to other the directories or jumping to other directories, there is a chance to crash the virus. So using NOPS, no operations, you can able to secure your virus from crashings. Okay, and inside the NOPS there will be something like a bad character removing identification. So this all comes under a, so if you are preparing for a buffer overflow, if you are learning buffer overflow, then it will be very important. And next you can go for a payloads. So generally we had discussed this term payload in previous also. So I'll tell you what is payload. So when I was studying aeronautical engineering, that time we mentioned payload as a, for example, if the rocket is going to the space, means what are all the additional object does the rocket will carry, that will be considered as payload, like satellite, fuels. These are all the payload, like these are the additional object that the rocket is carrying to the space. In system also, payload means additional software. That's all. Okay, so payload means additional software, but this software is not a genuine software. This is harmful to the system. Okay, in system also, payload means it is a additional software, but this one is not a normal software which is make more harmful to the system. That is actually payload. Simply it is a virus. Okay, and next one is a post. Okay, so I hope you all know about post exploit. Post exploit means once after exploitation, what all the activities you are doing is comes under post exploit. Like once after exploitation, what most people will think, most hackers will try to do a privilege escalation. Okay, because if you are low privileged user in the system, so what attacker will do, attacker will try to take a high privilege admin privilege or a root privilege. Okay, it is a Windows machine, attacker will try to take admin privilege. If it is a Linux machine, attacker will try to take a root privilege. Why they try to take these privileges? Okay, so then only they can able to perform any kind of activities on the system. Because if the attacker having only low privileged user access, means they have some, not some many restrictions, they can only do some activities in the system. But they having a high privileged access, they can able to perform anything on the system. So that is actually privilege escalation. So these everything will be comes under post exploit. So once after you exploiting something, what are all the activities you are doing is comes under post exploit. And yes, now quickly we can see about, we can start the Metasploit framework and we take some break and we'll connect and discuss about Netcat. That Netcat is a really important tool for all the network pen testing and activities. Okay, so in previously we had discussed about there is a command msfconsole to start the Metasploit framework service. Okay, and if you want to create a payload, then you have to give the command msf venam. Okay, so this msf venam command is used to create a payload. If you want to start a Metasploit framework service, then you have to give the command msf console. Okay, but before giving this msf console command, I recommend that you can give this you can run the service. Okay, so service postgresql start. I'll tell you why you have to run the PostgreSQL service. See, this Metasploit framework is a library. Okay, it is a library of exploits. So when sometimes while compiling this Metasploit framework, there will be a chance to get any database error. Okay, but if you start this PostgreSQL database means, so this PostgreSQL is a SQL service based database. Okay, SQL database server. So it will handle all the SQL related errors. Okay, it will handle all the database related error. So it is not 100% needed to run this command before starting this Metasploit framework, but if you run the service then it will be good. Okay, so I recommended before starting Metasploit framework you can execute this command. You can start the PostgreSQL service, then you can give the command msfconsole. Okay, so these are all the warnings in my Metasploit. This is the in my local systems there. Okay, so don't think like, so this is actually banner, and yes, this is Metasploit framework. So here you can able to see this exploit, auxiliary, post, payload, encoders, knobs, and evasion. Exploit, auxiliary, post, knobs, encoders, payload, and evasions. Okay, so there are 2230 exploits are available, and 177 auxiliaries are available, and 398 post exploit, and 867 different payloads, and 45 encoders, 11 nodes, and 9 evasions are available in Metasploit framework. So that is why it is very important for network pen testing.